I would always say is that Dot, by her death, she opened our eyes to what was going on in where most of us were living at the time. And her legacy, her fighting for what she believed in, and that she never worried about herself, but was always concerned about the people. And I carry that with me and hope that I could really help other people too, in my own families or in with the girls at Mount Notre Dame or any place, to know that God believed in the people and she would do anything to have justice brought forth in any case whatsoever. That's one of the strongest things that I carry with me about God.
I think that I go wild when I hear everybody talking about Dot being an environmentalist. And she is an environmentalist. I don't take that away from her. But I always say, why? Dot had such a love of God and God's creation that she was passionate about anything God had created, whether it be an animal or a fish or a plant or a person. She saw the beauty of God in everything. And I think that's something that, particularly today, we need to really think about and carry on when we're actually ruining the beautiful creation God gave us. And her integrity. Dot lived what she taught. And sometimes you'd like to wring her neck. But that integrity has stuck with me and helped me through a lot of things. And for me, that's carrying on her legacy, the love and admiration of God giving us this wonderful creation He gave us, and the integrity we should have to take care of it and to take care of one another.
And elaborating a bit more on that, Joan, we talk a lot about this. Dot was, obviously, she was an activist. But why, again, just like Joan was saying, the Dorothy that we knew had a very deep spirituality. Dorothy had a particular, just as each of us has, a particular relationship with God. And in her understanding of God, and it was something that, as it does in each of us, our relationship with God grows as we grow, as we become part of a mission, and we respond to that mission. And Dot was so faithful to God's call from the very beginning, and how that evolved in her is something that all of us were touched by. And her tremendous belief in the goodness of people. Joan always says this, Dot could talk to the highest levels of government of Brazil, to congresspersons, to her farm workers. Dot talked to everyone, addressed everyone in the same manner, with this tremendous belief that they could do good. They could do the righteous thing. And it was in that, of course, there were times of great deception in Dorothy. I always tell this story. One time I was in Belém, and she was also in Belém, and she had visited one of these government offices or something. And she came home and she knocked on the door, and I opened the door to her, and she just burst into tears. And she said, "Carol, they just don't care." And, you know, me in one of my cynical moments, I'm going, duh. Because, you know, you work to turn the laws into life for the people. And that was the struggle. But it just so touched me because that was a deep, deep sorrow in her, because she truly believed. She talked to the men who were going to kill her the next day, and tried to talk to them about leaving their work with the landowner and coming to be part of the community where they could have security for their lives and their families and everything. This was the Dorothy whom we knew and so respected.
One of the